Julian Sulebeck and the Rabbi from Another Planet, and I have been watching my brand spanking new season 23? Season 23, Trial of the Time Lord Blu-rays. Hang on a second. I'll show you what I've been watching. This thing. Which I can't wait till I print out my cover without the current logo on it, because I'm just a bit of a dick that way. So, just as an aside, I'm giving away my DVDs. If you liked and shared and put a hashtag 60 on trial, SIXIEONTRIAL, I will be contacting you hopefully later today to find out your address to send this to you, which is the same thing on DVD. So one of the things that I've liked on these Blu-ray box sets is they remaster a story on each one with new special effects. Now, a lot of people hate that. I actually really like that, because I find the original special effects kind of distracting. It pulls you out of it. Whereas with if you have more modern special effects, it's more seamless for me. I get to I get more taken into the drum. But anyway, some people hate it. It works better on some and other. So this one, they had Terror of the Vervoids special edition. Now, Trial of the Time Lord is a 14-part story where Doctor Who is on trial. Colin Baker's on trial for interfering. And essentially it's 4 stories set within this courtroom drama setting, which a lot of people really didn't like. So what they did with this story, the third one, Terror of the Vervoids, is they cut out all the trial stuff, all the courtroom stuff, and just played it as a regular 4-part story. And so where do I start? So it's got the best part of it is there's a brand spanking new opening titles, which are just great. They fit perfectly. They fit seamlessly. And as soon as the titles stop, that's where it goes downhill. It's not gonna. Okay, Terror of the Vervoids, I will call a catastrophic failure of writing, directing, and production and acting. Oh my god, it's and also visual effects. It says a catastrophic failure. So apparently they redid the visual effects. I didn't see it at all. First of it, the visual effects seemed pretty much identical. But then I saw there was new effects photography, new model photography. I don't understand how there could possibly be new model photography, because it looks identical. Maybe they're just trying to do an upgrade for the Blu-ray. But again, it looked identical from the original version. Okay, so where to start? I'm going to talk about why this is so freaking bad, why it fails so drastically, and then I'm going to talk about how it does. Then I'm talking about why I think how it happened. So it starts off. Okay, so in the trial version, you have they're basically presenting segments from the Doctor's life, and this is a segment from the future, Doctor's future. And at the beginning of it, he narrates where they are, gives you. So in this version of it, you have Colin Baker's voiceover setting the scene, which is just really weird, because that's never happened in Doctor Who before. It's just really bizarre. I think they should have found some other way of doing it, like maybe have some on-screen text or something, just to. That's the first thing that didn't work. The first moment that didn't work. And I think that effect shot when you first see the spaceship, that the whole thing set on, that seemed different to me than the original, but not much. Just really not much. Not like the other things with the new special effects, the other stories. And eventually, when we get to first, we're setting the scene on the spaceship, and the acting is just the direction and the acting and the writing is dire. It's shockingly bad. It's very, I would say, near amateur dramatic production on pretty much everything. Even Marquez, who's normally very solid, did the music. Apparently, redid the music on this. I mean, it hits you with all the subtlety of a brick in the face. It's so clear. So it starts off. It sets the scene. You have all these really bad acting on bad sets, badly shot, very flatly shot, with bad music, unsubtly going dun dun dun. You know, like it's just really like unsubtle. And eventually, after about 5 minutes of real torture, you get to the TARDIS and you see Colin Baker and now Bonnie Langford. This is Bonnie Langford's first story, and Colin Baker is I would say one of the only really good things about this. His performance is fantastic. Yeah, he just outacts everybody on the screen. It's incredible. Like I believed him saying even the ridiculous dialogue that makes no real sense. I still believed his delivery of it because he's a good actor. I didn't realize how much better an actor he was. Mel, played by Bonnie Langford, is insane. She is a psychopath. This is the weirdest character I've ever seen. She's like this. She's not just into keeping fit. She's obsessed with keeping. She's a keep fit fanatic, not just fanatic, to an insane level. So it starts off. The Doctor is on this exercise bike on in the TARDIS. But why? And she's literally torturing him like, and she's so like uptight, sort of uptight, and after he's just very uptight. Now I don't think I've seen her be better in other stories, more on Big Finish. I think on Big Finish she had more of a layered performance, and I think just if she had more direction, more help from the director about what she's doing and where she's going, like what what her motivations are and how to present this performance. The performance fits fine in Terror of the Vervoids, where everyone's acting like da, 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 like it's so it's just so bad, and the story is its story has a glimmers of a decent story. It needs a heavy rewrite. You know, if it had that, it could have a heavy rewrite completely. I mean, the production, the visual, not the visual effects, the set designing. What's they come under? I can't remember. It was so unbelievable. Everybody in the special effects also just were not good. They had the black hole special effect, which was just just shockingly bad. You know, I so what? Here's what I think happened. This was the story just before the script editor Eric Saywood quit. Now Eric Saywood and John Nathan Turner had a extremely fractious relationship. And it's really showing. It's really showing it. Eric Saywood by this point is just beside himself. He couldn't care less. He couldn't care less what goes on the screen, and he's going to blame John Nathan Turner for everything. And in John Nathan Turner, not defense. What comes to defense? Attack. Yeah, he made some terrible decisions. Now, John Nathan Turner is an interesting character. If you haven't read, I think they reissued it under a new title. I think they call it The Life and Scandalous Times of John Nathan Turner. It gives a fantastic insight into who he was, and it's fascinating, absolutely fascinating. It's one of the it's so good that I actually read the book. You know, I don't normally read books because I'm a bit of a luddite, but this one was really fascinating, and he was an interesting character. He really by this point wanted to leave Doctor Who. He'd been wanting to leave it for years, and he knew if he left, Doctor Who would be gone, be cancelled, and he probably wouldn't have a job as well. I felt bad for him because they didn't want to give him any other jobs because he did. I don't want to say a horrible job on Doctor Who, but he did a horrible job on Doctor Who. Yeah, he was. He's not. Yeah, thank you to Chris Chibnall. He's not the worst producer who's ever worked on Doctor Who. This is not the worst Doctor Who ever. I will still rather watch this than the Arachnids in the UK any day, which is the worst episode of Doctor Who, scientifically proven by men in coats in labs. He really wanted to leave Doctor Who, but he knew if he left, they would cancel it. I think he had a real affection for it, so he kept staying on. And when they cancelled it before this one, before season 23, it was him who saved it. There was a permanent cancellation, and he put out a completely unauthorized press release saying it's being rested for 18 months and forced the BBC to bring it back, which is incredible. I mean, he knew how to work the BBC. and I think that's one of the reasons why they didn't like him so much, because he wasn't implementing what they wanted. And also, again, so yeah, so this story is emblematic about why Doctor Who was cancelled and then cancelled again. This is exactly why, because it was awful, and the special edition cannot hide that. So I actually think this is probably the worst story on in the set. I got to go back and watch. I think Mind Warp's probably the best, and Ultimate Foe, and there's also Mysterious Planet. But again, I got to go back and watch these other ones. This was just terrible. I would recommend buying this Blu-ray box set anyway, because it's if you love Doctor Who, the only Blu-rays I've never got was season 11, the Jodie Whittaker one, because it was just it was worse than this. It was so I've never has Doctor Who been mean spirited and exclusionary before, which I found disgusting. But that's just so that's me for it. But anyway, so I was going to buy this anyway. I was always going to buy it. There's other things on the Blu-ray box set which is kind of fun. I haven't got through all the extras yet. I saw they have a Master Chef one where this is fantastic. There's the Toby Hidoki who's very big in all these Blu-ray box sets, and also does the behind the scenes commentaries. There's a book written by John Nathan Turner's lover. Is lover the right word? Spouse? Second? They weren't married, but they would have been if same sex marriage were legal. John Downey, called the Doctor Who Cookbook, and so it basically is a cooking show doing recipes from the Doctor Who Cookbook with the Doctor Who stars who submitted them into the cookbook, and it's that's really fun. That's really Nicola Bryant had this cheesecake which he then didn't do. He did a vegan cheesecake which looked really good. I've got to try that. So that was a lot of fun. There's more in-depth interviews, and again you get. Oh, that's the other thing I was going to say. You get everything on this wonderful 1080p. But my God, that's the other thing. I was watching Terror of the Vervoids, because it was shot on video. It's just not very crisp. It's very kind of hazy, as opposed to I look at the Tom Baker, was it 1972, 73 set, his first season. Those pictures are crystal sharp. So yeah, that's my point of view of Terror of the Vervoid Special Edition. Not so special. Still glad I got the set. My name's Steve Beck, and the Rabbi from Another Planet. Let me know what you think. Like, share, and subscribe. I might end this video with the new title sequence they put together, which is really fantastic. Other than that, there's really not much left to say. Except please subscribe, because I think I'm one away from getting 200 subscribers. I'd love to hit 200. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great day.